Hello friends, welcome to my channel Accounts Accuracy. Let us discuss about bills of exchange in part 2. I request you, if you have not watched my first part, please watch the first part of the same topic, bills of exchange. Here today we will be discussing about different types of accounts which are maintained in bills of exchange chapter. As I told you, there always remains three parties. So in that case, what happens? You are supposed to make three accounts, but you should know that in most of the time you are supposed to make accounts of drawer and drawee. You notice very well that drawer is the person who sells the product. So journal it will be Y account to sales account. Suppose if Y is the buyer and X is the seller, then in that case entry would be Y account to sales account. Debit the receiver and credit what goes out. Next to that, you will also pass the entry in the books of drawee as purchase account to X account. That means debit what comes in and credit the giver. So like that, you will pass the entry in both the books. The second entry will be the drawing of the bill. Now, as you know, drawer draws the bill, so he will be receiving bills receivable. For him, the same bill will be called as bills receivable, and for drawee, it will be called as bills payable. So he is receiving the bill signed by drawee. The bill is coming in, VR will be debited. Bills receivable will be debited to Y account, credit the giver. On the same hand, in the drawee's account, it will be X account debited to bills payable account. Debit the receiver, credit what goes out. So this is how you will pass the entry in the books of drawer and drawee. Now, as I had discussed that there are four cases. First of all, bill retained till the date of maturity. That you know, the bill may be retained by the drawer till the date of maturity. In that case, on the maturity date, the last date, due date, the entry will be bank account to bills receivable account. He will receive cash from drawee and the bills receivable will move out. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So accordingly, bank account will be debited and bills receivable account will be credited. And on the other hand, in drawee's account, your entry will be bills payable account to bank account. Bills payable bill is coming in. It is being given by drawer to drawee back. So it will be debited. And what is going out? That is bank account, cash. So that's why bank account will be credited. It can be either cash or bank depending upon the question. If check would be written, then you will write bank account. If cash will be written, you will write cash account. Next to that, we have another condition that bill get discounted from bank. In need of money, drawer may get the bill discounted from bank and drawee will not be disturbed till the date of maturity. So that's why the first two entries will remain same till the bill is drawn. For the sale entry, it will be Y account to sales account. For drawing the bill, it will be bills receivable to Y account. You can see here also purchase account to Y account, X account to bills payable account. These two entries will be same. But in case of discounted from bank, your third entry will be changed because the drawer will get the bill discounted from bank when he will be in need of money before the due date. Entry will be bank account, discounting charges account to bills receivable account. As cash will be given by the bank, so what comes in debit, so bank account will be debited. Discounting charges will be a little loss or you can say expense for the drawer. So because if suppose your bill is of 1050 rupees is the bank charge, then your 50 rupees will be lost. So that's why discounting charges will be debited because it's a loss for the drawer. And next to that, credit what goes out, bills receivable will be given by drawer to bank. So that will be credited. So this is the third entry which will be passed, but at the same time, no entry will be passed in the drawee's book because drawee is not supposed to be disturbed till the date of maturity by the drawer. Hence, no entry will be passed in the books of drawee. Now, on the due date, he will just go to bank and get the bills payable from bank and pay the money to bank. So that's why bills payable account to bank account, as bills payable is what the drawee will get back from bank, so what comes in debit, and credit what goes out. When he will get back his bills payable and pay the money. Now, endorsement. As you know, endorsement is the case when drawer gave away the same bill to some third party. That is, it is being endorsed to the third party in just as cash. Before maturity date, drawer may endorse the bill to the third party, that is endorsee. Z is endorsee here, so bill will be given by drawer to Z, so that's why Z account will be debited in and to BR. So Z will be debited and what goes out credit, so BR will be credited. Now here drawer will just give away the bill to Z. Now he has nothing to do with the bill or the drawee anymore. So that's why on the date of maturity, no entry will be passed in the books of drawer. In case of drawee, there will be no entry passed at the time when the endorsee will receive bill from drawer. So that's why there will be no entry in the books of drawee. He will only pass the entry on the date of maturity. So at the due date, the entry will be bank account to this payable account. Now in case of endorsee, you know that when he receives the bill from the drawer, he will pass the entry as bills receivable account to X account because credit the giver and debit what comes in. And on the maturity date, your entry will be bank account to bills receivable account. He will receive cash from drawee and give away the bills receivable to drawee. Now you have to notice that in case of drawee, it is always bills payable, but in other cases, it can be bills receivable. Now our last case is bill sent for collection. When the bill will be sent for collection to bank, your first two entries will always remain same, the same way here it is same, but in the meanwhile, before due date, drawer may send the bill to bank for collection because it is very difficult for the businessman to remember the dates of maturity. He handles many bills. So in that case, it's too difficult for him to remember the date. So that's why he may send his all the bills for collection. When the bill will be sent for collection, the entry will be bill sent for collection to BR account. On the due date, entry will be bank account to bill sent for collection account. Your fourth entry will be bank account to bill sent for collection account on the due date. What comes in debit and this bill sent for collection will be credited. You can see here when the bill will be sent for collection by the drawer, there will be no entry in drawee's book because he has nothing to do with whatever bill is being done by drawer. So he will pass no entry till that day and on the due date simply he will write bills payable account to bank account because he will receive bill and pay the money to bank. This is how you will do the entry in case of bill sent for collection. Now as we have discussed all the four cases, let us do it with a sum. It will be more clear to you when we will discuss the same all four cases with sum. X sold goods to Y for 1 lakh, drew bills of exchange which got accepted by Y and duly met by Y. Pass the necessary journal entry in the books of X and Y. You can see here bill retained by X till the date of maturity or due date. So you can see here this lady is X and the drawee is Y. When the goods will be sold, the entry will be Y account to sales account. As I told, debit the receiver, credit what goes out. It's a credit sale, so two sales will be credited. 1 lakh because 1 lakh is the amount of sale value. Again, we have bills receivable account to Y account because at the time bill will be drawn, the drawer will receive the bill. So bills receivable will be debited, debit what comes in, credit the giver, Y will be credited. On the due date, till maturity, the bill remains with the drawer. So that's why it will be encashed on the due date and the entry will be bank account to bills receivable account. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Bills receivable will be handed over to drawee. At the time of purchase, the entry will be purchase account to X account. Debit what comes in, credit the giver. When the bill will be drawn, entry will be X account to bills payable account because acceptance will be given by drawing. So X debit the receiver, credit what goes out, bills payable is going out. And on the due date, entry will be bills payable account to bank account, bills payable will be returned by the drawer to drawing. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out, cash will be given away by drawee to drawer. Next case is your bill got discounted from bank. If before due date, if the drawer will be in need of money, drawer may get it in cash to the bank, I told you. So that's why the entry will be same for the two cases, that is during sale and drawing of bill, it will be X account to sales account, bills receivable account to Y account. But the time when it will be discounted from bank by X, your entry will be bank account, discounting charges account to BR account. You can see here, discounting charge is suppose 500. So that's why this bank will give only 95,500 to the drawer and 500 will be your discounting charges. That's why it will be debited and to BR account, that is 1 lakh, the total value of the bills receivable. And drawer will only receive 95,500 from bank. Discounting charges of 500 will be given away by the drawer to bank. This is how you will pass the entry in the books of drawer at the time the bill will be discounted from bank. And that time your no entry will be passed in the books of drawing. First two entries will always remain same. Your third entry, there will be no entry because he has nothing to do at the time of discounting of bill. Only on the due date your entry will be bills payable account to bank account, that is 1 lakh will be mentioned in the books of drawing. Now your third case is bill got endorsed to Z. That means before the due date. It may be given by drawer to some third party, that is endorsee. Then in that case, first two entries will remain same. Your third entry will be changed, that is Z account to BR account because Z is the receiver, credit what goes out. So Z will be debited and BR account will be credited. After this, drawer has nothing to do with the bill. That's why on the due date there will be no entry in the books of drawer. You can see here first two entries will remain same in the books of drawer and drawing. The third entry, there will be no entry when the bill will be endorsed because he will maturity he will pass no entry. So on the due date only the entry will be bills payable to bank. In case of endorsee, when the bill will be endorsed by drawer to drawee, the entry will be bills receivable to X account because debit what comes in, credit the giver. And on the due date, entry will be bills bank account to bills receivable account. Here the drawee will give away the money to endorsee, that is Z. And fourth case is bills sent for collection. Here you know that due to busyness, drawer may send his bills to bank for collection because he may forget to collect the money from drawee on the due date. So that's why bank is responsible to collect the money from the drawee. When the bill will be sent for collection, your entry will be bills sent for collection to bills receivable account. First two entries, nothing to discuss. You know it's same. And when the bill will be sent, your entry will be bills sent for collection to bills receivable, credit what goes out. When the money will be received, your entry will be bank account to bills sent for collection. Next, in the case of drawee, there will be no entry when the bill will be sent for collection. Only on the due date, he will pass the entry as bills payable account to bank account. So, this is how you are going to do the sum. And it's too easy if you concentrate, it's too easy for you to do the sum. Now, this is all in this chapter which you needed to know. I hope you might have understood and this video might have helped you a bit. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.